Welcome to the Tribe Membership Show.
Hey, Funk Roberts here, and welcome to episode number 8 of the Tribe Membership Show. Today, we're going to talk about how to keep people engaged and addicted to your membership or to your brand. Because let's face it, getting people into your membership, that's step number 1. But the real challenge is keeping them there, keeping them engaged, keeping them coming back month over month, year over year, creating lifelong customers. And this is definitely where most businesses lose customers because they fail to focus on that one thing that's going to help keep them there. And that's the tribe experience. That's the experience, creating an experience that people want to continue to return over and over and over again, whether it's return to the membership, whether it's return to the courses or the information that you have, whether it's to return to buying the brand over and over again, or whether it's returning to the community. And that's what we're going to talk about today is the tribe experience. Again, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Funk Roberts, and I want to thank you so much for giving me your time today. This is actually part 2 of a 3-part series where I'm breaking down our Amazon best-selling book, The 27 Tribe Secrets, our meaning myself and the twins. I'm just holding up the book now if you are listening. Mike and Rick Teelmans and myself, we created this 27 Tribe Secrets book. It is now an Amazon best-selling book in over 15 categories. And it is the 27 Tribe Secrets, the psychological strategies that help with attraction, retention, engagement, and of course, creating lifelong customers, creating a sustainable business. And in the last episode, we talked about tribe attraction. We talked about how to get the right people in and build a movement. So now that we have people in, and if you do recall, and if you haven't watched that episode, you don't have to go back and watch it right now. Definitely watch it, but you don't have to watch it right now. I think you're here. Let's stay here. But in the last episode, I talked about the club. If you remember, the bouncers in the club owner, and what happens when you let the wrong people into your club, what happens to the experience. Well, now we've got the right people in the club. Now we have to create an experience. And that's what motivates your customers or your members, not only to get started, but to keep going. And this is one of the main reasons why most businesses fail at keeping customers. Because most businesses only focus on the acquisition and they neglect the engagement, they neglect the retention. They're transactional businesses. You will hear me say this all the time. They're transactional businesses, and we need to get out of the transactional mindset. Yes, transactions are important because that's what brings people in. But when you only have a transactional mindset, or when your transactional mindset is much bigger in regards to the percentage than your transformation mindset, getting results, creating experience, focusing on engagement, then you are going to have problems keeping customers coming back because you're only focusing on the outside without looking in. We need to look inside the membership. We need to look inside to ensure that we are offering a transaction or transformation. No, right? The biggest mistake is they offer the transaction and not the experience. Yeah, here you go. Here it is. Thank you for buying my product. Or here's a membership. Here's a whole bunch of things inside the membership. Here's all the information. You're good. Maybe we'll connect once every month. We'll do a live coaching call. But other than that, that's it. No, there's no experience. Why do you think people leave? They don't even know where to start, let alone what to do next. People don't buy information. And one of the biggest failures for businesses is, or for members too, like when, I know a lot of membership site owners who struggle with retention, struggle with engagement because they think that if I put more information into my membership, that's good. Like, I know some memberships are libraries of info, but you can still create an experience around that. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that later in this episode. But people don't buy information. They buy transformation. They buy solutions to their problems. They buy connection with other people. And they buy because of the experience. right? They come back because of the experience. They buy because of what that offer will do for their problem or their pain or their desire, but they come back for the experience. And businesses that don't just sell products, right? The ones that create habits, identity shifts, and an experience for their customers, they're the ones that are successful. It's the experience. An example, like, most gyms, they just sell memberships, right? Gyms are so transactional, it's not even funny. They just sell memberships, but most people quit after 3 months because there's no experience pulling them back. Sure, at first there is, but after a while, it's the same old thing over and over again. It's mundane. It's just, there's no cool experience, no reason to get excited. Going to the gym for a lot of people isn't an exciting thing to begin with. So how would you create something, right? If you don't make your business a part of their identity, if you don't make your membership a part of their routine, they're going to drop off. So instead of asking yourself, how do I sell more? I want you to ask yourself, how do I create an experience where people will never want to leave? Let me tell you a story about when I first created the Over 40 Alpha Brotherhood, right? When I first created my brotherhood, I had actually a transformation journey, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. I had that already in there. I had follow along workouts. I had a nutrition plan. Like I had these things already in place for the first 4 or 5 months. People joined, but then they still quit after 3 months. They were still quitting. 3 to 4 months, they were quitting. And it wasn't until we introduced things like rituals. We introduced, the weekly coaching calls. We introduced some of the milestones, right? We introduced a collective identity. We introduced incentives. And once that happened, game over. When people join and they start, they stay. Higher engagement, better retention, and the engagement side of the community, it's much more of a community-driven accountability. People relying on each other in the community, people engaging with each other. If you just look at Peloton's kind of the same. People don't just join Peloton for the workouts. After a while, they stay for the live classes. They want to be in the live classes. I know my wife, she loves going to the live classes. When she uses the Peloton and she can get on a live class, oh, it's over because she wants to compete with everybody. My wife is the biggest competitor on the planet, and she wants to beat everybody. Second sucks for Angela. There is no second. Second sucks. Third's even worse. It's one or you're done. That's Angela. And that's one of the reasons why I married her, because I love that value. I love that of her. She wants to be top of the leaderboard. Yeah, sure, there's a social connection, but she also wants to beat your ass. But that's where Peloton's not just a product, right? I have a Peloton right here. It's not just a product. It's an engagement mechanism, right? The way everything is set up, the way you can go to live classes, even if they're just already pre-recorded classes, you still feel like you are training with the trainer and they're talking to you, right? And they continue to do more to really boost up that community, the power of community. And I even have a client who started with one-way content. Like people would just watch videos. That's it. And then we introduced the community challenges. We introduced the live Q&As. We introduced direct engagement, and their engagement tripled. Like literally tripled, and their churn rate decreased by 40%. 40% decrease in churn rate by implementing some of these secrets. The experience, building up the experience. So you're probably sitting there asking, okay, Funk, yeah, okay. What are some of the things that we need to create an experience? Well, I flossed over this last episode, but one of the first things you want to make sure you're doing is you're building a transformation journey, right? And this is part of the first 11 secrets, but you have to create a transformation journey, right? You have to create some type of step-by-step structured journey to get them from point A to point B, to get them to that attractive result. They're joining your membership for change, whether it's, again, solving a problem, whether it's a desire that they want, whether it's, getting over pain, whatever it is. There's a reason why they're joining, and they're looking to you to take them through this transformation. Take them through this transformation, step by step. So however you build it out as a roadmap or a transformation journey. And everyone who joins needs to start at the same place, which means for me, in my over 40 Alpha Brotherhood workout program and nutrition and lifestyle, everyone starts in phase 1, no matter what. Phase 1, then phase 2, then you don't come in and look for the program and, this is where, no. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your fitness level is. You're starting in phase 1, then you go to phase 2, then you go to phase 3, and we will implement things in there. But once you have a journey, a transformation journey, that everyone starts at. Because think about this. If everyone starts in the same place, and I have been inside the membership for 15 months, and now I'm on phase 15, and someone comes in on day 1, and they do the first workout, and they post inside of in the Facebook group, man, that was the toughest workout I've ever done, and it's only day 1. I don't know if I'm ever going to get through this. Member in phase 15 goes, no. I totally remember that workout. I totally remember that it was hard, but keep going because it gets easier. You're in the right place. Trust the process. You know what that does? Not only does that manufacture hope for the person who's inside struggling with day 1, but there's a connection now. Because that guy who struggled with day 1 now understands that, this guy knows what I'm going through because he already went through it. And actually, this guy's in phase 15. And by the way, look at his testimonial. Look at his before and after. Look at his transformation. Okay, I've got hope. Because the first thing in the experience is manufacturing hope. Now that you've built out that transformation journey, your method, your step-by-step method that'll get them to their first kind of milestone or get them that first big result. Well, you have to manufacture hope because people don't trust themselves. People don't believe in themselves, right? Because they probably tried a lot of things to get to the solution, right? They've probably tried everything that's out there, or they think they've tried everything. Most people think they've tried everything, whether it's 2 things or 10 things. I've tried everything, nothing works. Or this isn't going to work for me. There's that person. Oh no, I got this. I got diabetes. I got high cholesterol. Oh, my blood pressure's high. This isn't going to work for me. I can't do this. I can't do that. This isn't going to work for me. No, I'll try, but it's not going to work. You need to show them hope. How do you manufacture hope? Well, you manufacture hope through results. Testimonials, proof. If you go to over40alpha.com/proof, you are going to be scrolling for 30 minutes at the before and afters, the videos, the social proof, the testimonials, like the actual stories of people who not only lost weight or burned or got 6-pack abs, or their before and after is amazing, which there's tons of those, but it's all of the things, all of the important things, the lifestyle things like, I'm no longer on my diabetes, pills, or I'm no longer on statins, or my relationship with my kids are way better, or the relationship with my wife's better. I'm able to do things I never have. I started a new business. My doctor took me off my mental health pills. Like, it's those types of things that are life-changing, along with the physique, but the life-changing happens not only to that person, but the people around them. And so when you can affect people like that, and then have a place that shows, no, this is the proof, because that's what you're going to see on that page. Now when other people come in, they're looking at the proof on your sales page or marketing page. You will have as many testimonials as you can, at least 11. And generally speaking, that's why I always do a founding members launch, Usually it's 90 days because I want to make sure that whenever I launch a brand new membership, I have to have founding members, right? Because those members are going to be the people I take through the first 2 to 3 phases, and their results are going to be the hope. But it's not just manufacturing the hope from people who are outside of your membership that want to join. It's when people first join, that onboarding experience. So if you go into my membership, if you were to go and join the membership, you will see that the first 30 days, because we have daily emails, so you sign up for daily emails. So when you start phase number 1, you sign up for daily emails, and that triggers daily emails that take you through the first phase. Only 28 days, only the phases. So day 1, welcome to day 1, maybe some motivational thing. There's a link to the workout, but also there is a before and after and a mini story. So for literally the first 60 days of my program, every single day, there's a different testimonial and mini story in the PS of every email that gets sent out. Because as people start, it's change. Change is difficult for people. Change is difficult for me. Change may be difficult for you, but change is difficult for people. The belief that they can do something is difficult. The trust in themselves. They don't have that because they've tried things before, or their support system keeps telling them that they can't do it. And that bastard in their head also says the same thing. That loud voice that silences that voice of hope says, you can't do things. So we, as membership owners, as businesses, we need to manufacture that hope. We need to continue to tell them you can. And so when they see these stories, maybe 1 or 2 or every single day, they're looking at these stories now, they're like, all right, enough. If these guys can do it, I can do it too. So manufacturing hope is very important, not just for external, because you need that testimonials on your page to show that your method works, the proof. Hey, my method works. Remember, this is a method that they've never tried before. That's why we methodize things, because you have to tell them, hey, you've never done this before. I mean, maybe you tried other things, but you've never tried this before. And here's the proof. We need that. But we also need inside, when someone now starts to join and they want that experience, they need that hope. When they feel like they're going through this program and they get to those barriers, right? Or those times in the program or in your membership or what have you, where they just, I don't know if this is even working. They don't see the results as fast as they want. Still got to manufacture hope. So manufacturing hope is a big part of the experience. And another part of the experience is having a manifesto and an indoctrinations process. So this is kind of like, this piggybacks on each other. When I talk about indoctrination, I talk about onboarding. That's kind of like the onboarding process, right? The onboarding process really encompasses 3 things. You want to indoctrinate them, but you also want the onboarding experience to be absolutely incredible. Because when someone joins your membership, they may be ready to go, they may be hesitant. If it's something online, remember, they're not getting something physical. A lot different when you go to a store and you buy something and they put it in a bag for you and you grab the bag and you take it home and you can feel it and you can touch it. You can't do that online. Yes, there's some videos and stuff, but that's where the onboarding comes in. So onboarding through video, taking them step by step. There's a video for every single step on the onboarding, but the onboarding also indoctrinates them into your membership. Before we talked about the values and the beliefs, you put your values and beliefs into a manifesto. So you're creating a manifesto. This is who we are. This is why we do things. This is what you're part of now. This is our collective identity. This is who we are. So you're rallying. It's like that rallying cry. It's the manifesto. I have a manifesto for my membership. When somebody joins, right, they get the manifesto. It's part of the onboarding. It's part of the indoctrination. We're indoctrinating them into the program, right? Almost like we're providing them with that new identity. Remember, we talked about people, they need a new identity. They can't come in with the same identity. because that's the same identity where they continue to fail, or the new identity is desire that they want. So in this, our manifesto, we talk about what the manifesto is, what it means to be an over 40 alpha, which is the collective identity. We talk about the ground rules, right? How to start, declare your why, commit, trust the process, food, hydration. Like, we kind of give them that. We make them write, we make them sign a declaration. We make them sign a declaration. The declaration, this is the declaration. I'm going to read this to you. I, and then they'll sign it, commit to following Funk's advice for the next 30 days. I'm signing away any excuses right now because I'm committed to following through and changing my life. I trust the process because I know positive changes are happening inside my body every day. I will complete my daily tasks that Funk sends me over the next 30 days because I am an over 40 alpha who finishes what he starts. That's a virtue. That's a value. Finish what you start. I will live the next 40 years better than the last. That's a declaration. So now they're signing that declaration, and then they post it. And then, we give them a little bit more information. We give them the rules for results, what you need to do. Those are the pillars. And then we have the manifesto. The manifesto is that rallying cry. People will post this manifesto on their phone. Actually what I should do is put the manifesto into a frame. Actually, now I just think about that idea. But the manifesto is that final piece of the onboarding, right? So we take them step by step. Hey, take the quick start guide, so we want to take them step by step. But that manifesto is the final piece of the puzzle. Because that really truly is a rallying cry. Like, I represent a new wave of man. There's a video that we have that goes with this manifesto. The alpha man wages a daily war on mediocrity and the modern comforts. And we stand strong in the decision not to just survive, but thrive. The alpha man, right? The manifest, because my goal is changing them into an over 40 alpha. So the alpha man rejects the belief that life declines at 40. He's just getting started. He's here to make the next 40 years better than the last. And it continues to go on. The alpha man knows the past doesn't determine the future. What you're finding inside this manifesto are my beliefs and my values. And defines his identity in every thought, decision, and rep. The alpha man celebrates strength and character by giving his best, accepting his worst, and celebrating the bare vulnerability of his brothers. He lends a hand when others are down, or a back to stand on when he's given his best. He stands up for what's right, he stands strong for his family, and he treats his woman as the queen of his kingdom. He has one life to live, one body, and one chance to be remembered as a symbol of greatness. The alpha man doesn't have time to waste on anything less than legacy. Over 40 alphas are torchbearers for the new wave of man. I represent a new wave of man. That is our manifesto. That manifesto has everything I stand for. The values, the virtues, what it means to be an alpha, over 40 alpha. And so all of that is part of this indoctrination, the manifesto, and the experience. What an experience. I just joined a program where I had to write a declaration. Now I got this rallying cry. I'm in. So now we're started. Your members are starting the program. So yeah, great, Funk. Awesome. Members are started. Everyone's excited. But now what? How do we keep them? How do we get them past phase number 3? How do we get them past that dreaded 3-month period? Well, you introduce milestones. You introduce incentives. Because people need incentives, right? People need incentives. It's 2025, folks. People need incentives. They need milestones. Right, so we build milestones and incentives in as a 1-2 punch, and the system in place, because everything's built on systems. Remember, right? We want to build a system. It's all thought out. This is not just throwing like, it's all a flow, right? The psychological, emotional ties that people start to have to your brand and your program starts from day number 1. But now we're in it. So what can you do to keep them there? And that's where the milestones come in. So for me, in the Over 40 Alpha Brotherhood, every 3 months, in 1 year to Alpha, so it's the first year of my program. Again, my program's workouts, follow along workouts, nutrition. We got recovery routines like mobility, yoga. We have sleep, so we focus on sleep. Those are the key elements: recovery, sleep, nutrition. Nutrition's very easy to follow. Workouts, of course, the mindset piece, right? What is your why? But what keeps them going? You get some results, but what keeps them going? What's the incentive? Well, every 3 months, every 3 phases, right? You complete the phase, you hit a milestone. But with that milestone comes a t-shirt, a milestone t-shirt. And these aren't just regular t-shirts. The t-shirt has a saying on it that represents where they went, represents their journey. So the first one's I got it done. Right? That's the first one. And that shirt represents where that journey that they took. So I'm just going to go to that. I'm going to go to that page right now, and so I can get my milestones, so you can see. So I'm not butchering this. So the milestone has to mean something, and I personally liked something that they could touch, that they can feel, that they could wear. That's really important for me, because that's another thing, one of the secrets that we're going to look to later on in another episode. But the milestone says, no excuses, no fear, I got it done. Why does it say no excuses, no fear, I got it done? Well, because generally speaking, when they first start a program, they got excuses, they got fear, and they don't believe in themselves. After the first 3 phases, once they got it done, it's like, oh my God, no excuses, no fear, I got it done. That's what they wear with pride. So they fill out a form. The form gives us their name, gives us where they're from, gives us some measurements, their weight when they started, their weight now, their measurements, and then a story. What was life like before you joined the program? And, there's a minimum amount of words so that they can actually expand on that information. And then we talk about what was life after you joined the Brotherhood. We talk about all those things. And then I have other questions like what are some of the alpha traits that you've learned? What advice would you give to somebody that's new or that's looking for a program? And then they upload their before picture and their after picture, and then they agree for us to be able to use it in marketing, because we use it as a spotlight. So after that, that's the kind of the process, right? And when we get that information back, and then, this is perfect. Great milestone. Love it. Doesn't matter if they lost 1 pound or 1,000 pounds. It's not about the weight. It's about the story, right? It's about the journey. And so every phase, every milestone. So after that, it's milestone is the phase 6 is the next milestone. I will not stop. I will not be stopped, because by that time they ain't stopping. They're already halfway through 1 year to Alpha. And then phase 9 is stronger today, better than yesterday, because that's that focus now. They're trying to get stronger today. They want to be better than yesterday. And then the final one, when they become an Alpha OG, so it's a new identity. We're going to talk about that in a second. That now they've got a little bit of hierarchy, because now I'm an Alpha OG. I'm not just an Over 40 Alpha, I'm an Alpha OG. That shirt has mindset, recovery, nutrition, workouts, beast mode equals official Over 40 Alpha. And before, we used to put their name on the back. And that's like the 1 year to Alpha, done. You're now the next level, the next hierarchy inside the Brotherhood, which is an Alpha OG, original gangster. It's just there's nothing more than I love the OGs, and an OG means this is someone who's put in the work, right? An Alpha OG is someone who did 1 year of a program, put in the work. They have clout, they have information, they've learned things, they've changed, they've transformed, they've done something that's very, very difficult. So in your membership, what are some milestones that people can hit? And I love the incentive now right? So the milestones are milestones. I'm not a big fan of just buttons, and like gamification is one thing, but gamification with a purpose is another thing. Gamification, yeah, they get a button or they get a badge. Like, dude, you can't do shit with a badge. I can't show people my badge. I can't show people the badge unless it's a physical badge. But I like milestones that like the milestone piece is reaching that phase and getting through the phase. The incentive is the t-shirt. Because if someone does not allow us to use their information, then they're not getting a t-shirt. Because I'm sending it to them for free. It's free. So I'm not going to send them a t-shirt if we can't use it. So if we can use your story, then I'm going to give you a t-shirt. But everyone wants the t-shirt. Everyone wants that incentive. And everyone wants to share their story. Some people don't, and that's cool. But it's so funny because the people who don't at the very beginning, by the time they get to phase 9, they're like, oh, I want a t-shirt. Anyways, so the incentive is a shirt, right? The milestone is where they're hitting, and of course that's kind of like connected. And then after they reach the first and finish the first 12 phases, then there's hierarchy, because in the experience of somebody in your membership who's been there for a long time, they need to get that feeling of hierarchy, right? If you've had someone in your membership for 3 years or 2 years and you're treating them exactly the same way you treat someone who comes in new, although the person who comes in new is the most important person in your membership, but if you're treating the new person like you're treating the 3-year person who's been in your membership, who's paid you money month over month, who's been a ride or die, there's a problem. There's a problem. These people have been with you inside your membership, paying you money every month. And yes, you're providing them the service, but what are you doing for them? So that's where hierarchy comes in. So in my membership, we have hierarchy. We have those people who are alpha OGs after 12 phases. Then when you reach 24 phases and your testosterone levels are 600 nanograms per deciliter and your body fat percentage 15% lower, because that is a KPI, right? That's something that people can strive for. Then you become an alpha savage. And an alpha savage gets a 2-sided coin. I don't think I have it here. Yeah. A 2-sided. Now, I know that if you're listening, you can't hear this or see this. Oh, I can't get it out. But it's a 2-sided coin, right? And again, they love that. This is huge, because when I introduced I never had anything after phase 12. And I found that people were they're still in the program, but they weren't giving it their all, right? They were just kind of showing up. But as I'm showing this now, if you look at the screen, for those of you who don't see, you can go on YouTube or on Spotify video. This is the coin. They get it in a nice box. And now they're an alpha savage. This is the alpha savage coin. Ultimate alpha savage. And so that's another form of hierarchy. Now this person's been in 2 years. And then after 3 years, they get a ring, because they're supreme king. They still have to be in the alpha zone, 600 nanograms per deciliter, etc., 15% less. But now they are an ultimate supreme king, and they get the ring. Man, what an experience, right? That's what an experience. Not only am I getting results and transforming my lives, but now I'm part of, this community where I can give back, because also inside the Facebook group, you can see the moderators, like the people who are, I think it's a moderator badge we get. We know that people who are moderators are OGs, right? Unfortunately, Facebook only has a specific amount of kind of like tags or labels that you can give people. They don't have too many. This is where the badges would be good, actually. But the key, what I'm trying to say is that it's the experience. The milestones, incentives keep people motivated to go in, because a lot of times people don't like doing things they know they have to do, right? I know I got to go to the gym. I know nutrition. I know all these things. And so the first 12 phases, yeah, get it done, man. Get it done. But next 12 phases, not only do you have to get it done, but you also have to be in this zone, right? It's not just about getting the workouts done. This program's more than that. It's about living nutrition, living, the sleep, getting the recovery, and so you don't get injured. And the results of that is going to be increased testosterone naturally, and it's going to be body fat percentage, right? It's going to be low. You're going to see that transform. You're going to see your body's going to be completely different. So what kind of experience can you create, right? What kind of system can you put in? And the great thing about the system of milestones and incentives, by the way, this is a feedback loop. So basically what happens is they give us their testimonials, their information. We use that. This is a bonus. We use that as a spotlight. So over the last 7 years or 6 years, we have not missed a spotlight. Spotlights are every Tuesday because it's Transformation Tuesday. I've got a fitness. It doesn't have this. All by the way, this is not just fitness. I have clients who are not just in fitness. I have clients who are freaking everything. But because Transformation Tuesday is a thing on social media, we this is how we use a spotlight. So the spotlight is the story. Today's spotlight is Jimmy, who lost 30 pounds and is now an alpha OG, and has changed his life completely. And today we want to spotlight Jimmy Johnson, blah 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 blah. Check out his picture and story. Here's his before and after picture, or before and progress picture, and now the story that they read, and that gets sent out by email. That gets sent out by email to 2 lists, to my members, because they want to see themselves and their other brothers spotlit, and to the big list of people who are not members, because there's the proof. Then we post it on Instagram. I post it on my Instagram, over 40 alpha, so now people outside can see. And we post it inside the Facebook group, right? And so for us, it's great, because we share stories, we share transformations, right? People read it, people outside read it, people inside read it, people feel significant, which is something we'll talk about later on, because that's where the significance comes in. But the whole point is creating an experience. Now, my program's 12 phases, well, my program's 36 phases, 3 years, but it wasn't built like that. I built it as a 6 phases maybe, because I thought only people would last for 6 months, and then people kept staying, so I had to do I actually had to do 12. And I remember when people got to phase 10, I remember I had 700 people in phase 10, and they were all saying, what do we do after we're done? And I'm like, oh my goodness. First of all, there's 700 people, almost the same people who joined 10 months ago are still here. And I can't send them back to phase 1, so I had to create another 12 phases. And then another 12 phases, because the retention's so high. Why? Because the experience is so good. Why? Because the results are so good. Why? Because we're building a tribe business. And this tribe business is based on retention, attracting the right audience, retaining those people, engaging with them, which we'll talk about in the next podcast episode when we talk about tribe bonding, and sustainable revenue for you. And you're going to feel incredible when you change lives. And you're not going to be spending 16, 17 hours inside your membership. Literally, I spend 8 to 10 hours a week. So hopefully that makes sense. I will have some action items on how to start applying some of these secrets, some of the ways you can. But if you enjoyed this episode, right? Like we know why most people fail at retention, right? We know that they need to create an experience, and and focus more on the transformation rather than the transaction, right? We want to make sure that the experience includes a transformation journey with the manifesto, and we want to make sure the onboarding is key, right? The onboarding includes testimonials and manufacturing open stories. The onboarding, gives them a step-by-step indoctrination. You're indoctrinating them into your programming. Onboarding, indoctrination, kind of same thing, but we're really truly implementing things like the manifesto and the declaration. Those are the indoctrination pieces of it. The manifesto, the declaration, I am signing to say, yes, I'm committed. Now you're indoctrinated in, and I am an over 40 alpha. My identity's changed. And then keeping them there throughout the journey includes milestones, includes incentives, and includes hierarchy, so that you are bigging up your longtime members, the ones who have been in your membership for a long time. And if you don't have people, if you're just starting out, just think about that in the back of your mind, right? You will have members who are going to be with you for years. Because the other mistake that I find a lot of membership site owners do right now, and listen, it's honestly not your fault that this is how you're trained. You're trained because you feel like people aren't going to stay for a long time. And that's because, generally speaking, if you don't have a tribe business or you don't implement these strategies, you will have problems with retention. These are the strategies that not only do we use and my clients use, but if you look at the most successful brands and businesses that have communities and customers that are lifelong customers or who ride or die with them, it's these strategies that they've implemented. It's these types of things that they've implemented, the experience, the identity, right? Like we'll talk about other things later on, but the signaling and the language and the signs and all of these things, that the uniformity, like all of these things that people, and the collective identity, that's, people ride or die with companies where they feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. They don't just do that by accident. They're actually implementing these strategies. And it doesn't matter if you're a one-person show, which I have clients who are one-person shows, and because they're scaling so fast, we need to add people in. Or a company that makes $40 million a year and have a whole crew of people. The strategies and the methods are the same. You just change them up based on your business and your clients, customers, members, what have you. But the strategies, the method stays the same. So start thinking about what experience you can create by ensuring that you create the first experience by getting testimonials, getting proof that you and your method work. And then you need to take all those shared values and all those beliefs that you have and create a manifesto, a rallying cry, and get a declaration so you get some commitment during that indoctrination. And then along the way, along that transformation journey, because remember, you're building out a transformation journey, step-by-step process on how they're going to get to where they want to get to, throw some milestones in and give them an incentive. And the reason I'm gonna share this last thing with you, and finally, if you have a membership who have had members in there for a long time, right? Remember the hierarchy piece. Build in hierarchy. But the reason why I use t-shirts, I'm going to share with you the reason why I use t-shirts. It's one of the secrets in the next set of secrets. And I'm going to share that with you. This is a very important piece, because when people see other people who look like them, that connection's even deeper. And I'm not talking about race, color, physical. So I'll leave it at that. And the next episode, I'm going to talk about why I give away those t-shirts and how powerful it is. The milestone t-shirts are so powerful that in the next episode, you're going to learn why I do it and why you should too. Anyways, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Please leave me a 5-star review if you learned anything. One thing, just leave me a good review so I can keep doing this. And if you want a copy of the 27 Tribe Secrets, this is the foundation, right? You can either go to Amazon and grab this. I'm not sure when this is coming out, but the audiobook should almost be done. My narrator, who's amazing, Michael, big up to Michael, he narrates this book. Or you can get this, the color copy of the book, right? Like, this is a great book. It gives you all 27 Tribe Secrets. It gives you the psychological strategies, and then it also gives you the actual me showing you exactly how I implemented it into the program. There's that manifesto. There's one manifesto. Or go to tribesecretsbook.com. Tribesecretsbook.com. You can get the PDF and start reading that book right now. But I want to thank you again for being here. I cannot wait. If you haven't listened to episode number 1, go back and listen to episode number 1. I hope you got something out of this. I love you very much. And let's build your tribe, baby. Let's build your tribe. I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tribe Membership Show. If you're ready to take your membership to the next level, be sure to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Want to dive deeper? Visit www.tribesecretsbook.com.